The skies are dim always, since the Maker died. The lights of Puppet Town are the brightest beacon in all of Puppetland, and they shine all the time. Once the sun and the moon moved their normal courses through the heavens, but no more. The rise of Punch the Maker Killer has brought all of nature to a stop, leaving it perpetually winter, perpetually night. Puppets all across Puppetland mourn the loss of the Maker and curse the name of Punch, but not too loudly, lest the Nutcrackers hear and come to call with a sharp rap, rap, rapping at the door. Hi, I'm John Scott Tynes, game designer, writer, etc. And if you're anything like me, you've spent your entire life assembling a vast personal fortune to fund a private army dedicated to the eradication of every puppet on the planet. If perhaps you don't have that same depth of feeling about puppets that I do, as well as clowns, politicians, well, anyway, I can think of no better document to make my case and help you understand my grotesque and primal fear of puppets than my role-playing game, Puppetland. Puppetland is inspired by the traditional British puppet shows of Punch and Judy, which have inexplicably been used to entertain children for decades, actually more than a century, in their cruel and sadistic depiction of the breakdown of the family unit beneath a tyrannical patriarch known as Punch. I was obsessed with Punch and Judy as a child, despite the fact that I lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and not England. And I created my own Punch and Judy puppet shows using a set of finger puppets my mother lovingly created for me. My Punch and Judy puppet shows were not very traditional. They had to do more with action and adventure, biplanes, crashing into swamps. It was very different. But it ignited a passion and ultimately a profound paranoia in myself for puppets of all kinds. I created Puppetland as a role-playing game about puppets set in this fantastical dystopian world in which the human maker of all puppets has been murdered by Punch, who has slain the maker, taken control of Puppetland, and now enforces his reign with an army of nutcrackers, who are his shock troops, rousting villagers in the night and so forth. And Punch, as part of trying to gain the magic of the maker who created him, has removed the skin of the dead maker and used it to fashion a face of flesh for himself, as if to make himself more human, and used the rest of the skin to create his animated magical puppet assistants known as Punch's boys, who are varying degrees of deeply, deeply creepy. Punch now rules Puppetland with an iron, or at least a wooden fist, and has done so for some time. His former lover, Judy, has fled and now leads a ragtag band of puppet rebels from an undisclosed location. Puppetland as a role-playing game is an exercise in group storytelling. The game master serves as the narrator and does the exposition and the dialogue for the other characters. The players must remain in character at all times and can only speak dialogue. So a player in Puppetland would never say, "I run to the door and bash it open." Instead, they would say something like, "Quick, to the door! Let's beat it open!" That's how you play Puppetland. The idea is that the entire table of people, the players and the game master together, what they say out loud could be transcribed into a delightful and charming storybook for the edification of children. And therefore, the words you say actually need to sound like you're reading a storybook, except you're making it up in real time. This extremely demanding form of role-playing has inexplicably failed to become wildly popular, but Puppetland does have its adherents. The game was originally published on my website in 1995, and later reprinted in the British games magazine Arcane, and later by James Wallace's excellent role-playing game company Hogshead, where I produced it in an expanded edition with more material, more content, etc. And after that, it swiftly fell out of print for about a decade. Actually, I think even more than a decade. This Kickstarter project is about bringing Puppetland back to life. Rampaging, tyrannical, disturbing life. And I really hope that we can make this happen. Puppetland is a very personal project for me. It's something that I've been quite literally building on all my life, and I have not stopped. This new edition of Puppetland is, in fact, bigger and better than ever. There's more content, more material, there's a starting adventure, there's a lot more help for game masters to understand how to do this thing and how to create adventures in Puppetland. It's just a lot more helpful. And that's based on great feedback that I got from users at various forums, at RPGNet and at some of the independent storytelling, story game kind of project sites. I looked for help there to ask, what's your experiences running Puppetland? I got great advice, and I put that advice into this book. This new edition of Puppetland features brilliant new artists involved. Raven Mimura, who did the first edition for Hogshead, did fantastic work, and we're very fortunate to be able to reprint some of his work in this book as well. We also have gorgeous new work by Samuel Araya, an artist that I've worked with for many years, and a fantastic cover that was originally used for the Spanish edition of Puppetland by Edge Entertainment. That cover art by Alejandro Terán is going to grace the cover of this new edition. I'm really excited about this book. It's been a long time coming. Puppetland's been out of print for a very long time, and I'm very happy to bring it back to you so that in time, I hope, all of you can join in my grim and terrible crusade to destroy all puppets forever. Thanks for your time, and please check out our numerous pledge levels and hopefully stretch goals and other cool things that are part of the Kickstarter experience, and with your help, we will prevail.